I just that I know you're looking for sparring partners, and I just want to say I'm very available, you know.
For sure you are.
Absolutely. Sparring with the champ would be an honor, and you know what, Mr. Jerkins?
What?
I wouldn't take no cheap shots either. I'd really be a good sparring partner, you know.
You don't understand me, Rocky.
When we were going to shoot the scene with Thayer David, who's the promoter, where he says, you know, how would you like to fight Apollo Creed? Well, the original script, he said, oh yeah, I'd like to do that. I'll give you a good fight. And on the way to work that day, I'm thinking about the scene, and I'm thinking, Rocky's not educated, but he's not a dummy. He's a smart guy. And he would know that he has no business fighting this guy, so he would say no. Now, the promoter's got to con him, and we'll feel more for Rocky. And now we feel that much more for Rocky because he's being taken advantage of. He's being thrown into a situation he has no business being in. And Rocky would know that. But the guy put the arm on him and said, yeah, you believe in America, don't you?
You believe that America is the land of opportunity?
Yeah.
Apollo Creed does. And he's going to prove it to the whole world by giving an unknown a shot at the title. That unknown is you.
So Rocky, blah, blah, and he gets pressured into doing this. So again, we feel for him. We feel that he's being taken advantage of. And we're going to pull for him that much more. Also, in the script originally, it had Rocky going to Mickey's gym the night before the big fight and look at some newsreel footage of Apollo Creed and look at all his fights. And after looking at all the footage, he realizes that he has no chance against this guy, but if he can just go the distance, then he won't be another bum from the neighborhood, which was the whole gist of the picture. Well, we never had the time or the money to shoot this newsreel footage. And I also knew that we were never going to have the extras to fill up this huge sports arena. Why don't we have him go to the arena when it's empty the night before? And there's not supposed to be anybody there. He can walk around the place and the lights are on, and when we're there for the fight and the lights are off, we'll imagine that all those seats are filled with people. Then when we do the fight and we don't show all the crowds, nobody will miss it because they've already seen how big it is. We had tried to get the producers to spring for the painting of those big posters that were hanging at either end of the arena of the guys in their poses. The artist had used a Polaroid for the one of Rocky in his pose, and he had the wrong colored trunks on.
Mr. Jerkins, the poster's wrong.
What do you mean?
They had painted Rocky's character in the wrong colored boxing trunks.
Well, I'm wearing white pants with a red stripe.
Well, there's no time to redo it, or so I said, well, maybe the promoter shows up, and Rocky says, hey, those are the wrong colors, and he'll say, forget it, don't worry about it.
It doesn't really matter, does it? Sure you're going to give us a great show.
And we'll feel that much more for Rocky because nobody pays any attention to him. Because nobody gives a damn about the guy. Because nobody cares about the guy. Nobody cares about him. Because nobody cares about any of that sort of stuff. So he becomes that much more sympathetic to the viewer. Well, once I got the job, I looked at other boxing films in preparation, and I was amazed at how phony the boxing looked. How phony the boxing looked. The boxing looked really phony. The boxing looked so phony. And realized that, you know, if we were going to make this different, that the boxing should look real. So the first time that Carl Weathers and Sylvester get into the ring to start practicing the boxing, they say, I'm going to swing, and the other guy says, I'll do this. One guy said, I want to do this. And I realized we were going to be there forever. And I said, fellas, this is never going to work. Sylvester, why don't you go home and write this thing out? He does a left, the other guy does a right. Lefts and rights. This guy falls down, this guy gets up. He makes a left, you do a right. Lefts and rights and falling down and lefts, rights, he gets knocked out. Whatever you want, write it out. And bring it back and we'll learn that. And we'll learn it like a ballet. Like a ballet. and will be choreographed. And we'll do the same thing day after day after day, over and over and over and over again, and over and over and over again. And we did it over and over and over again. And I was shooting with my little 8mm camera. I'd show them the stuff. They'd realize how terrible it looked. It's got to get better than that, guys. And how they ought to lose some weight. And it worked. And I also showed the footage to Bill Connie, and then a little 8mm projector that I could slow down, and I'd show him that and play some Beethoven's Sixth behind it, and it moved the whole thing up, because, you know, you put Beethoven behind Lieder and the Lieder looks good. And he liked that idea, and that's what we did.